I never thought my life would turn out like this. I dedicated 20 years of my life to serving in the military, sacrificing time with my family, missing birthdays, holidays, and countless moments that I could never get back. But I always believed I was doing it for a good reason, to provide for my family, to keep them safe, to be the man they could always count on. When I finally retired, I was looking forward to peace. I was ready to come home, settle into a quiet life, and make up for lost time with my wife, Lisa. We had been married for nearly 15 years, and while the distance had been hard, I thought we had built something strong. I thought she understood the sacrifices I made for us, but I was wrong. The first few weeks after I came home, I noticed something was off. Lisa was distant. She seemed distracted, like she was carrying some kind of weight on her shoulders. At first, I brushed it off as an adjustment period. After all, I had been gone for so long, and maybe we just needed time to reconnect. Then, I started noticing little things. The way she'd quickly put her phone down when I walked into the room, the sudden nights out with her so-called friends, and the lack of affection between us. It was as if I had become a stranger in my own home. I tried talking to her about it, but she always dismissed my concerns. "You're overthinking things," she'd say with a nervous laugh. "You just need time to get used to civilian life again." But my gut told me something wasn't right. One evening, I got a message from an old army buddy who had seen Lisa out at a restaurant with another man. At first, I refused to believe it. But then he sent a picture. And that's when my heart shattered into 1,000 pieces. The man sitting across from my wife, laughing and holding her hand, was my best friend, Mike. Mike and I had been through hell together. We had fought side by side, saved each other's lives more times than I could count. He was the one person I trusted with everything, including my family. And yet, here he was, betraying me in the worst way possible. I felt numb. I didn't want to believe it, but the proof was right in front of me. I had spent my whole life fighting battles overseas, only to come home to the worst betrayal of all. I sat in my truck outside our house for what felt like hours, trying to figure out what to do. My hands were shaking, my mind racing. Part of me wanted to storm inside and demand answers, but another part of me was too broken to face it. Eventually, I walked inside, quiet and unnoticed. I went upstairs, and just as I suspected, Lisa wasn't home. Her phone, however, was sitting on the nightstand, unguarded. My hands trembled as I picked it up and opened her messages. What I saw confirmed everything. There were months of texts between her and Mike. Messages filled with, "I miss you," and "I can't wait to see you again." Plans for secret meetups, words of love that she should have been saying to me. I put the phone down and sat on the edge of the bed, staring at the floor. My whole world had just come crashing down. When Lisa walked through the door later that night, she froze the moment she saw me. Maybe it was the look in my eyes, or maybe she just knew she had finally been caught. "Where were you?" I asked, my voice eerily calm. She stammered, searching for a lie, but there was no way out. "I was out with the girls." I let out a hollow laugh. "Don't lie to me, Lisa. I know everything." Her face drained of color and tears welled up in her eyes. I didn't mean for this to happen." "But it did," I said, standing up. "And not just with anyone, with Mike, the man I trusted more than anyone." She started sobbing, saying she was sorry, saying she still loved me. But her words felt empty. If she had loved me, she wouldn't have done this. If she had loved me, she wouldn't have let me come home to this kind of betrayal. I didn't yell. I didn't break anything. I just grabbed my keys, walked out the door, and drove away. I didn't know where I was going, but I knew I couldn't stay there. The house I had worked so hard for, the marriage I had fought to keep alive, it was all tainted now. That night, I sat alone in a motel room, staring at the ceiling, trying to figure out what came next. I had survived war. I had survived loss, and somehow I knew I would survive this too. But one thing was for sure. This was a battle I never saw coming. The next morning, I woke up with an ache in my chest so heavy it felt like I had been hit by a truck. The betrayal wasn't just in my mind, it was physical, deep in my bones. I scrolled through my phone, seeing old pictures of Lisa and me, happy moments from years ago that now felt like a lie. How long had she been pretending? How long had I been blind? A part of me wanted revenge. I wanted to drive to Mike's house, knock on his door, and make him feel even a fraction of the pain he had caused me. But deep down, I knew that wouldn't change anything. It wouldn't bring back my marriage, my trust, or the years I had wasted on a love that turned out to be false. Instead, I decided to rebuild my life. I packed a small bag, left Lisa a note telling her I deserved better, and walked away from the life I thought I had. I didn't know where the road would lead, but I knew I couldn't stay trapped in the pain of the past. I had fought for my country. Now, it was time to fight for myself.